This video will walk you through ways to successfully complete homework on MyLab and Mastering. You should access the homework through Canvas. What you should do is go to the Modules tab and pick the week that you are working in. Let's select Week 1. In every week, you will find a description of what you will learn that week, followed by a lot of successful a lot of resources like videos and textbooks, chapters, and then you will find whatever is due that week. During the first week, homework 1 is due. So that is where you're going to access homework 1. Well, I've already played around with homework 1, and you'll see that I have 3 questions completely correct with the green check mark, and I have 3 questions that are partially correct, a combination of a green check mark and a red X. I'd like to look at question 3 with you, and this is what you can always do. You can revisit the homework as many times as you like and redo the questions that you did not get completely correct. You can do that up until the due date. Let's look at question 3. So one of the things I want you to notice is that every question has at the bottom of the question, usually a help me solve this, brings you to the textbook, get more help, would include opening StatCrunch if you wanted to, and a last-ditch alternative to send me an email with the direct question you're working on, and I can help you. This first question talks about wearing your helmet when you're bicycle riding. And it talks about observing 3,500 cars as they pass by and whether or not the motorist was wearing a helmet. So I got first question correct. I got the second question wrong. So what I should do when I redo that question, I should remember and maybe jot down what the correct response was to the what for this study. I got the next part correct. So I only got one part wrong. I'd like to get that completely correct. So I'm going to hit similar question. And the thing is, when you hit similar question, you have to redo the whole question, not just the part you got wrong. So that's why it's important to jot down the correct answer to the parts that you did not get correct. If I recall question 10, I'm going to save my best score, which was the incorrect one. And then I'm going to move to question 10 because I want to show you a few things about question 10. Question 10 has data for the percent change in the populations for 15 regions of this country for the next census. And we have a lot of geographical data, and they report the percent change in population. The question is going to ask us to report several sample statistics. Unfortunately, in this problem, they don't tell you what they are. They just tell you there are a lot of them. So how are we going to handle this problem? We're going to click the icon to open the data, and then this is important. We want to open the data in StatCrunch. We are not going to use the formulas for the mean and the standard deviation and the median, etc. We're going to have StatCrunch help us with that. we're going to go under Stat, Summary Stat on the columns. There's only one column, the one that reports percent change, and then we're going to select the statistics that we learned about in this course. We're going to select the mean. I'm using a Mac computer, so I'm going to press down my Command button, and then I can select only what I want to be reported. I want the median, the range, the min, because we studied all of these things, the max, the first quartile, the third quartile, and the IQR. Those are the statistics that are studied in chapters 1 and 2. So then I'm going to hit Compute, and a table is displayed. Now, you could jot down all of these figures on a piece of paper. That would not be a bad idea. You don't know whether the question is going to ask the mean accurate to 1 decimal place, 2 decimal place, 3 decimal places, so that if you were to jot that down, I would strongly suggest that you jotted down 3 decimal places and maybe even 4, so that you could respond correctly. Another thing I suggest is that if you want to retrieve this, hit the minimize button and look where it goes. That window goes to the bottom of your toolbar. So we can get that window back if we want it. So the sample mean, I jotted it down, was 9.786, and the next decimal place was 2, so that would be an appropriate round off. I'm going to hit return, and it says I did a good job, and that's good, okay. And then up pops the next question. I don't think I requested the standard deviation. What I could do is I could go back and say, oh my gosh, I didn't request that. I could edit this. Then I could come down here and I could add the standard deviation. Where is it? I could add the standard deviation to my list and compute again. And there's the standard deviation, and I'd have to round it to 3 places, which would be 7.219. That would be 3 places. So I'm not going to continue with this problem. I do want to look at one more problem with you. This is in Module 2, and it's Homework 2. So we're going to open Homework 2. And the problem I want to look at is question 7. This is a problem a lot of students find challenging. It's an application of the empirical rule, also known as the 68, 95, 99.7% rule. And they're giving you the mean and standard deviation of a large tree, and they want you to complete the correct diagram. Help me solve this. This is a very useful learning aid in something complicated like this. It describes what the rule is, and you can read that carefully. Then it draws a picture for you with just the mean located on the diagram. And then it shows the picture of 1, 2, and 3 standard deviations on each side. And then it asks you to add the mean and standard deviation together and to type an answer. I think if we take the mean of 10.6 and the standard deviation of 4.5, we're going to get 15.1. So we're going to continue. So there they put the next 2 markers. 15.1 above the mean, 15.1 one below. Continue. And then they're going to ask us to do another computation. That's going to help you when it comes to answering the rest of the questions, which are actually kind of complicated. So when you come to question number 7 on homework 2, this is a very, very good time to look at the Help Me Solve This. Remember to always save after every session. We never completed problem 7, so we didn't get it correct, so we definitely have to revisit it. And then when you want to revisit, you just hit resume, and it brings you back to homework 2. I hope this helps you. Long story short, please use the help aids. View an example. Help me solve this. Click on the icons. Click on the icons so that you can see how they help you resolve the question. Any questions on any of the homework, please feel free to hit the Ask My Instructor button, and you can say, I'm having problems, and then you can send it to me, and I will get an email at my home Salem State email, and I can address your question. Thanks for watching. Talk soon. Bye.